Hey everyone, welcome to the MVP Alliance AI Power Hour. I'm your host, Jamie Ann Palize, or MVP Jamie for short. I also have our MVP Barack on, who is a mastermind behind the MVP Alliance. So we're going to talk a little bit about some news that came out to help you guys stay abreast of what's going on. And we'll also be sharing some other information that will help you to make some good decisions on finding the right AI training to help you to be able to move forward in 2025 and beyond. So let's talk
Yes.
about some news. Do you have any news before I get started with my news?
Please start.
All right.
Please go ahead.
All right. So a couple things that I wanted to talk about, and we'll talk about them each. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to chime in. I'd love to hear from you. So one thing that I thought was really interesting and useful as well, which most of the stuff I'll be sharing is useful to y'all. So, and I'll try to keep it always useful news, right? So
Yes.
ChatGPT gains agentic capabilities for complex research. So, okay, that sounds fancy. What the heck does that mean? Basically, the ability to synthesize knowledge is a prerequisite for creating new knowledge. That's what OpenAI says. Totally agree with that. And what they're doing with deep research is empowering the ChatGPT to be able to find, analyze, and synthesize information from hundreds of online sources of information all at once. So, what does that mean? It means more accurate information, more accurate data, and faster, which is beautiful because we all like to save time here as entrepreneurs. So, as a hands on marketer, content creator, entrepreneur, time is money, right? So, we want to be able to do our jobs more efficiently and effectively. So, I think this is going to be a really great thing for everyone to test out. I know I've been testing out the projects that they released relatively recently. I've been enjoying that where you can upload your folders and your files and all kinds of stuff. That's been working great for me. Have you had a chance to try that feature?
Sure. What about the tasks, by the way? If you
Yeah, I
you,
haven't
you
had a
use
chance
that?
to try them yet. Have you?
Yes, but it's 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 I don't know. Maybe I'm not fully utilizing it yet. All right,
Not
let's say
yet.
it like this. I asked it once to I gave it like we created a full plan for me, like a mental workout.
Mhm.
And I asked it, can you break this down and remind me as we progress every day, like the next step, each step of the program we created. And what it did,
Right.
it just like set for 3 times a day the same update every day. So I asked him, but that's the same. Can you change that? And let's just do it once a day. And now I have 4 times a day the same one. And I asked him, okay, can you just remove all the tasks? And he said, no, I can't do that. Something went wrong. And now I have 4 tasks every day saying the same thing, just the first step of
Okay,
this
so the
program.
task maybe needs some love, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so I'm not missing out on anything.
But I like that. But I like it. I like it being proactive. I like it. I want
So
to say
maybe
something about.
we'll revisit that later. Okay.
Yes. I'm not rushing about it. I like it. I just need to learn how to use it. It might be my case. I'm not. It's not. I'm not saying it's bad. Maybe
Could be
I'm not
user
saying it.
error is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. This
all
time.
right. So, what do you think about them using deep research to help with the complex research and getting more data faster and more efficient?
First, I love it because every time I use AI, I always take it to the edge and see where it fails. Like when how long, how much content can I give you before you won't be following? How many tasks can I give you before you'll cut short? And so I like that they do some kind of agent that will research for you and give you something more full, more details, probably more accurate. But it doesn't sound like they're doing some kind of perplexity on steroids and but putting it
Yeah.
behind a very big paywall because that's gonna be only for the pro version, which is right now very
Right.
expensive.
Right.
And so I haven't even tried it. I think it's great. I think they're just trying to fight a very rising power of perplexity.
You're
um,
probably right. You're probably right.
but we'll see
So
how
it did.
the usage of people.
So it did say that the drawing capabilities from the variant of OpenAI's upcoming O3 model, The aim is for free users, two free users from time-consuming, labor-intensive information gathering. Love that. Okay, but I think you're right. I think that they're trying to compete against the other team, which is fine. I love that.
Yes, it's good.
That's
It's
what needs to
healthy.
happen. It helps when other companies come up with stuff that's innovative. It forces these other companies to have to put up or shut up. And so I think that's good.
Nice.
So it also said it's going to
Catchphrase.
help with including full citations and transparent documentation. So I think that is beautiful because personally, when I'm doing my research, I like to have citations. I like to be able to go look at the original information and check
So
out to
important.
see, is this actually relevant to what I want to talk about? Because what AI thinks sometimes is not what I think. Okay. So
That's not
I
the
think
same way
that's
you
good.
interpret it.
Right, exactly. So I think that's good, and I do think that it's going to help push the bar forward. It did say that once it's initiated, the AI is going to have a rigorous multi-step process, which may take 5 to 30 minutes to complete. So this is definitely for people that are doing more research intensive type of stuff.
Right.
So that's fine. It says the sidebar will provide an update on the action. So you don't have to sit there and wait.
Wow.
How long is this taking? Having to worry about checking back. The sidebar
That
will give
sounds
you all
good.
the deets. So that part is really cool. And then it says the results are presented in the chat as detailed, well-documented reports. And in the coming weeks, OpenAI plans to enhance these outputs further by embedding images, data visualizations, and graphs to deliver even greater clarity and context. I love that update. I'm looking forward to that.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so we'll
They
keep an
should
eye on
they
that.
should give that to everybody though, or at least to more people. Right now, I don't think we're gonna access it so soon.
Yeah, I'm not really so sure. I personally have the team plan. That's what I'm on. I would like to go back to the pro plan, and I'm hoping they fix this later on. But my business partner, the reason I'm not switching to just the regular plans, we don't really use the team plan stuff very much. His research is usually separate from what I need to have and stuff like that. And if we would have known that coming in, we just would have went with a $20 plan. Instead, we're paying $30 a piece. So we're paying extra $20 basically for the team plan stuff that we're not using. But he
Many of
created a
you.
custom GPT that he uses every single day. And I found out from RJ that basically, if I were to try to switch, because she ran into this as well, all that data and all that hard work that he did will no longer be there.
I heard about that.
So I
I
can't
heard
do
about that.
that right now. So
Yeah,
right
they
now
lock you a bit.
I'm ponying up the extra money to be able to do that. Hopefully they will come up with something better in the future for those of us that need to migrate or downgrade rather to the pro plan.
Of course
So
they will. Of course.
yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
I believe. I believe.
OpenAI, if you're listening, please do that soon. Okay. All right. So
Let us migrate.
that is one thing that was in the news that I thought was really cool that I want to share with y'all. Another thing is, and I haven't had a chance to test. I can't even talk today. Sorry, fam. So one of the things that I wanted to test
Me and you.
out was Quen. I have not tested them out yet, but this article did some benchmarks against. So this is Quen 2.5 Max against DeepSeek V3. It says that the benchmarks are better. So let's talk a little bit about that and go over that. Have you had a chance to test out Quen at all?
I just played a little because I had to. You have no choice. I had to play with it a bit. It's cool and it allowed me quite well to use it as free user as well. Um, Overall, they have much similarities like Chinese will often do. They have much similarities with OpenAI. It just feel like I had to check, but I'm not. It's not OpenAI, but besides that, I can tell just by using it. I can tell so easily, which one is better. They're so good already, all of them. Um, but yeah, it's got a huge company behind it. It's Alibaba. It's funded by Alibaba, so that's a
Huge.
competitor. Yeah, that's a competitor you have to recognize. We'll see how that roll. We'll see the user reactions, I think.
So
you haven't played with that yet,
I
right?
haven't played with it yet, but I'm going to now. So I
You should.
will
You
I will
should.
share some insights with y'all next week. Okay. So this is what they're saying as far as the benchmarks go. It says that the things that it outperforms DeepSeek in is Arena Hard, the Live Bench, the Live Code Bench, and the GPQA Diamond, while all demonstrating competitive results in other assessments, including the MMLU Pro. So what it says is the instruct model designed for downstream tasks like chat and coding competes directly with leading models such as GPT-4o, Claude 3.5 Sonnets, and DeepSeek V3. Among these, Quen 2.5 Max managed to outperform rivals in several key areas. Some of the comparisons of base models also yielded promising results, while proprietary models like GPT-4o and Claude 3.5 remained out of reach due to access restrictions. So sounds like in some areas it kicked its butt, and other areas it did not. So the real thing is we need to find out is how good is that, right? So what I like to do is I like to go in and when I'm testing these different models, and I'll pull them all up, the ones that I want to compare, and I will put in the same prompts, the same information that I'm looking for, and then compare and contrast to see how they are performing against each other. They all have, their pluses and minuses, but I am interested because, Alibaba, like you said, they're not a small company by any means. So it will be really interesting to see what they do moving forward.
Absolutely. And it's
So
just coming up to the news with something that's so competitive so quickly. That's amazing. Let's see. Let's see how that goes. Let's try.
yeah, yeah, we'll definitely give it a try. We're gonna do some test run, and we will get
By the way, like always, it's a Chinese company. It's right now we are in an arms race and
yes,
regulations about privacy. Just be careful. Don't put too much info there,
right.
before you read enough, to look around. Just be careful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of,
Hmm.
speaking of that,
Hmm.
the other news kind of ties into that a little bit.
All
So
right.
Microsoft and OpenAI are probing alleged data theft by DeepSea.
Yeah,
Ooh, that doesn't sound good. So
yeah, heard
basically,
about
they're
that.
investigating the potential breach of the AI firm system by a group allegedly linked to the Chinese AI startup DeepSeek. This
All
is
right.
according to Bloomberg. The investigation stems from suspicious data extraction activity detected in late 2024 via OpenAI's application programming interface, aka API, and sparking broader concerns over international AI competition. So it says Microsoft, which is OpenAI's largest financial backer, in case you didn't know. I didn't know that. Now you know. Now I know. First,
Yes,
identified
yes,
large
yes.
scale data extraction and informed the ChatGPT maker of the incident. So, sources believe the activity may have violated OpenAI's terms of service. I'm sure it did. Or that the group may have exploited loopholes to bypass
Right,
restrictions,
right,
limiting how much data they could collect. So, DeepSeek has quickly risen to announce and prominence in the competitive AI landscape, particularly with the release of its latest model, R-1, on
right.
the 20th of January, and billed as the rival to OpenAI's ChatGPT, which may or may not have been partially inspired through extracted data. So that's what I got from
So,
that. So,
so I'll tell you, it makes sense that you'll go to the top dog, especially in AI, and they're basically blamed to use ChatGPT to train their model, right?
right.
And you shouldn't. That's not allowed. But that's that's not what we're that's not what they care about. So they wanted they wanted the most efficient model. And so if it's true, maybe it means that their training method, which was one of their most prominent concepts, it was so effective. Maybe that's a bit weakened now, but I still think what they reach is still going to be huge and game changing, regardless if they're done wrong or not. Maybe they're done wrong, but in the
Yeah,
process they discovered something huge that's gonna shift
maybe.
AI training for 2025. So
So here's what David Sachs had to say about this. And in case you're not sure who he is, he's the White House's newly appointed crypto and AI czar. Okay. He alleged that DeepSeek may have employed questionable methods to achieve the AI's capabilities. In an interview with Fox News, Sachs noted evidence suggesting that DeepSeek had used distillation to train its AI models using outputs from OpenAI systems.
Right.
Ding, ding, ding. There's substantial evidence that what DeepSeek did here is they distilled knowledge out of OpenAI's models. And I don't think OpenAI is very happy about this. So,
Oh no.
yeah, to say the very least. So, yes,
Right.
you hit the nose right on the button.
So that's another thing we just wanna keep following. That's how that's gonna develop. But
Yeah, definitely.
those
We'll have to keep
models,
an eye
that
on
was,
that.
by the way, you mentioned before Quen is also using some quite effective training methods. So Chinese right now being even on some things maybe they're not the leaders yet, they're being more effective, and in that I think they're the leaders right now, and that's that means a lot. That means that for they get more bang for their bucks, and for the same bucks they can do, they could probably lead, right, for the same
Yeah,
bucks. So that's interesting.
yeah. It's very interesting. So, I do have one more little tidbit of news. This is better news than what I just shared with you guys.
All
Well,
right.
I guess that depends on who you're talking to. Some people might have thought that was great news, some people not so much.
Always like
So,
that, right?
so GitHub Copilot brings mockups to life by generating code from images. That is awesome. So, what it says among the notable updates includes the feature called Vision for Copilots, which allows users to attach a screenshot photo or a diagram to a chat with Copilot. And then what you get from that, it's going to generate interface code and alt text to bring it to life. I don't know about you, but I want to test that feature out. That sounds really awesome. So I
Wow,
think that is going to
that's
be
cool.
really
That's cool.
awesome. It says, so for example, it gives an example for us. So let's listen to this
Yes.
one. It says, someone on a marketing team, hello to my hands on marketers out there, listen up, could take a screenshot of a web page and illustrate some changes they want made to that page. Rather than requesting such changes via text prompts, it's now possible to upload an image and just ask Copilot to implement the changes as indicated in the file. So that is really cool. And it says it's also worth noting that this has been available as an extension in VS Code since October, with Microsoft confirming in the app's description that it could eventually be depreciated in favor of the native feature within the GitHub Copilot chat. Previously, it also required the user to have their own API key. So now that's not going to be a thing. So that's cool. Very, very cool.
That's available now.
Mhm.
Okay, let's try this. We have to
Yeah.
try this. All right.
We're gonna try this.
We have to
I'm
try
gonna
it.
try this live and active. Are you gonna share your screen?
No, no, not right now, but we have
Oh,
to
okay,
try this.
not right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
We have an agenda, the main agenda for today. This is why.
okay, we're not gonna do
Right.
that live. I got excited for a moment because I thought that was gonna be really fun personally, but and maybe we can do that in the future. Maybe have some live
Yeah, we
testing and stuff
I
like
like
that. I
that.
think that would be
I
really
like that.
cool if you guys are
Surely in the
watching.
master classes, for sure we're gonna do that.
Okay,
For
all right,
sure.
I like
For
that.
sure. We
I
have
like
more
that.
time. We have more
So
time.
yeah,
Right.
if you guys test this out, let us know what your thoughts are. I'm going to test this feature out. So I have a lot of testing to do between now and next week. So I'll get back to
For
y'all.
sure.
All right. All right. All right. So for our next topic, or
Mhm.
rather the main event, really, that's what we're getting on to right now, is
All right.
last week, RJ talked to you guys and Brock talked to you guys about how to find good AI products and services to help you to be able to do your stuff more efficiently, whether you're a marketer, content creator, entrepreneur, small business, all the good stuff. So
Very important.
we're kind of on the same tail of that. How can we find good AI training, right? That's super important. There's tons of training out there. Type in AI training on your favorite search engine. You're going to find tons. Type it into YouTube. You're going to find tons. Who do I trust? Who do I look to? What one is good? Which one is going to waste my time? Which one's not going to waste
Go
my
with
time?
your
Which one's going to
neighbor.
waste my money? Which one's
Right.
not? Right? There's too much out there. There's so much. And for me, being a researcher by nature, sometimes I wish it was the early 2000s when there was less options. I'm not going to lie. Because now to be able to figure out what tool I should use, it requires a lot more man hours for me to really dig deep and do some testing and look at things such as reviews, which aren't always that great, right? Like it used to be back in the day, if you looked at reviews, it was like a good 90% chance that they were legit. Now it's more like 50-50, right? People are creating
Really,
fake reviews with
for sure.
AI. So don't do that, guys. Don't do it. Don't even think about doing it. Be legit and authentic. And sometimes people do that. Let's talk a little bit about why some people do that. A lot of times it's because they're just getting starting out and they feel like they're not going to be credible unless they have reviews. I promise you, you're going to be more credible by showing your abilities versus faking them. Okay. So don't fake it till you make it. Let's just actually make it. Okay. So
The proof of the power of social proof
yes.
you'll see that been used for years before even internet was existed. You'll see in the commercials. The leading product in Europe now in close to your home, and then why it's so great? Because it's also many Europeans like it. Now I'm gonna like it. So social proof is so important, and marketers know that. And when you are launching something new, you actually have no social proof yet. What do you do?
What do you do? Well, I'll tell you what I recommend that you do, even
All
though
right.
this probably could be a whole nother talk. But I'll give
Right.
you a little few tips.
Sure.
What can you do?
Mhm.
Start using things like social media. YouTube's a great platform for this, and start sharing your knowledge and start building an audience authentically, not faking it till you make it. So the proof is in the pudding. That's what we say here in America. Okay. Uh, at least from the part I'm in. So there might be some other sayings in other parts of America. And what
All
does
right.
that mean? That means that the pudding, AKA the results, the proof is in the results, right? So if you share what you do and give goodwill out, and the it could be free training videos, it could be a free course, it could be little tidbits that you're doing on TikTok, which FYI, shortest band in existence as far as I know. I actually took screenshots of that, guys, because I think it was like late on that Sunday night. There was a you can't access it. Sorry.
Right.
The new administration, President Trump is working on it. We'll probably come to some kind of agreement. And then I woke up the next day with welcome back, USA. So I was like, what? That was wild. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
so the proof is in by showing up and sharing. And what's beautiful is as content creators, we have lots of different avenues that we can do that. We can do that through video, we can do that through PDFs, we can do that through social media and all the different platforms. And that's how you build an authentic tribe, right? Knowing your message, knowing your branding, knowing who you want to speak to, and start dripping out that content over time. You will build an authentic tribe and they will give you authentic reviews, right? That's what
For
we
sure.
want. So, how
I
do you
wanna I
find
wanna
the
add
good
something.
training?
I wanna add
Yeah.
something small about that. So
Yeah.
I totally agree that you should work hard, make it great, and get those honest reviews. Yeah. Okay. If you're faking the reviews and then you're hitting your audience, and then they giving you bad reviews, and then you need enough audience to grow, but the audience is bigger than the fake reviews. Now the fake reviews are already the small minority, and you get more bad reviews because you didn't grow organically, and that's really gonna hinder
That's
you.
gonna
That's
look
gonna
really
that's gonna put you in
suspect.
trouble, right?
It's
So
gonna look good.
something you could do, like being practical, something you could do. Okay, for example, if you have a product on Amazon, what you can do is you can lower the pricing for a while for a certain amount of some certain volume just to get that feedback. Or
Yeah.
what you can do for us, for example, before a course, we do an internal course. We just invite opinion makers and we say, okay, get this course for free. Just give us your honest feedback. And now what we do is we give them a huge feedback feedback file to answer us, a nice survey tool to answer everything. Like, what did you like? What did you like about everything, about every aspect that we care about? And so now you have already 15 real reviews you got for your course before you even launched, right? So you don't have to
Absolutely.
fake it anymore. Or you
Yes.
got 100 of reviews on Amazon before you even started really selling or pushing it or marketing it. So now you got real reviews, practical way to get real reviews, and then keep your product great for sure.
Yeah. Yep. And
All
I've
right.
actually seen a lot of content creators doing that where they do like a beta test where, maybe it's 10 people, 20 people that they're looking for. They usually make them fill out, like a little mini application, and then they pick a group of people that they want to work with, and they have them go through their whole course or their whole program and really like ask them to just nitpick it apart, and really test it out. So that is a great way, a great suggestion, and a way for you guys and gals to be able to be fresh, brand new, and get some real feedback and real authentic reviews. So I decided to use AI because I was just curious, right? Let's see what AI says about finding reliable AI training content for
All
creators,
right.
entrepreneurs, and marketers. I'm going to share my thoughts on it. Some of it I agreed with, some of it I didn't fully agree with. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So
Before that,
obviously, yes,
which one did you use?
I use ChatGPT, but I use the
ChatGPT,
project folder that I created
the
specifically
go-to.
for MVP. So
Mm,
that I've uploaded all the content that you sent me. I've uploaded all the transcripts to the prior MVP AI Power Hours, and I've given it some very specific feedback on how I want it to output stuff to me to be able to share with you guys and gals. So
fantastic. That's very good. Very good.
that is what I did. So it
Very
talked
good.
about some things like obviously, the risk of poor AI education. I don't think we have to go in that too much. Obviously, if it's poor education, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. All of those are bad. Time is money, money is time. We don't want you wasting your time or your money. So obviously, it's important to find good content. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. And it said how to understand your training AI needs. That's actually good. I didn't really think
That's a
about
good
that when I
question.
was moving into that. Like, are you a beginner? Are you intermediate? Are you advanced? Because that is something you should be taking into effect when you're looking for different types of training. Obviously, if you've been doing this stuff for a while, a basic course probably isn't going to be for you unless you're just looking to refresh what you're doing. So that is a good little tip on, just thinking about where am I actually at with my training and what am I actually looking for? And
I want to add to that as well. Can I?
yeah, go ahead.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure thing. I think it's not just what level you are. It's what are you doing? What's your profession? What's your
Yes.
next goal to create? Then what is my next skill? So because AI is
Mhm.
changing so rapidly, of course after you got the base, like the base AI course, the prompt engineering course, after you understand how to talk to it, how to create most things with it, then you get like specific skills, right? So I want to create videos next, right? I want to add that to my skill set. I want to be able to create videos and offer that to my clients because my clients few times ask me, and in a week I can download a new skill right now, and I create fantastic studio level videos in a week, right? So if that's my next goal, then I probably shouldn't just look for AI training. I should probably look for that specific skill. So you should also
Absolutely.
think of what's my next step in my personal training, my personal growth, in my personal expertise road plan. Road plan? What's the word?
Roadmap.
Roadmap. All right. Yeah. So
No, that's a great tip as well. So yeah, so knowing yourself, right? Where am I at in my
absolutely.
skill level? What is it that I want to truly learn about that will take me to the next level in my profession? So those are some great things to do. So one of the things that the first thing I said that was a red flag, right? Lack of credibility. So here's what it said about that, and I have a couple things I want to share about that.
All
So it
right.
said
All
no
right.
clear instructor credentials, right? No established presence in the AI industry, no reviews, testimonials, or case studies. Well, we just talked a little bit about that, right? If you're brand new, you're not going to really have that kind of stuff. So then again, does that necessarily mean that you suck? No, actually, it does not. So this is one thing that I would say could be more like a yellow flag, not a red flag. It's going to be dependent on the individual. So
Correct.
my main profession is a kung fu martial arts website. And I love to bring this up because this is actually a great example of when is it a red flag versus a yellow flag. We did not do belts on our site, as well as with our in-person school. We do not do belts. Belts is really a money-making system. It's actually not, how the original martial arts and kung fu world was. It's really just about, getting paid for advancement and things like that. And I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers saying that. I do it all the time on Inner Shaolin, so it's all good. So a lot of times we run across people that are like, "Oh, I'm fifth degree this, block grandmaster this, or da da da." And then when we go to work with them, we find out how little they actually know. So this is why I wanted to bring this up, because just because you don't have a bunch of plaques on your walls or trophies or belts or certificates does not mean that you don't have something of value to provide.
That's
Nor does
very
it
good.
mean if you have all those things that you actually know what you're talking about. So that's where it goes
That's
back to
very
that
good.
proof is in the pudding. I've met people that are brilliant who are not PhDs, and I've met some PhDs where I question how they got their degrees.
For
We
sure.
don't
For
talk about
sure.
Fight Club. So
For sure.
so really, you have to do your due diligence beyond that. So this is where I disagree with AI. Lack of credibility doesn't necessarily mean that the person doesn't know anything. This goes back to taking a look at their free content. This is why having free content is so important for you
I
as a
love
creator,
that. I
because you
love that.
need to give people pieces of the puzzle so they can see if they like how you teach, if they like your style and how you talk, and if they can take what you have shared with them and apply it and get a positive result out of it. So again,
I
proof
love that.
in the pudding. So
I love that.
there you go. That's one thing I don't see. I'm not always going to agree with this AI stuff. Okay.
I want to add to that as well.
Yes,
So
please do.
first, I love that the AI gave us like something that's really logical, right?
Yes,
And
very
then
logical. Absolutely.
but then you make it real world and say, okay, that's logical, but that's make no sense in real world, because right now in AI, that was probably right in other topics 5 years ago, but right now AI is changing, and you haven't changed that yet. And so you said you need to the truth is in the pudding. The truth? What's the word? What's the phrase?
Proof. Proof.
The proof.
Proof is in the
So
pudding.
the proof is in pudding. So you have to look at the pudding. So I want to talk about that pudding for just to
Yes.
emphasize that.
Mhm.
So looking for a speaker, looking for a source of information, source of knowledge, right?
Yes. Yes.
What would be the pudding? So getting a diploma from the latest course of Google, or doing what would it, I think the pudding would be, especially for us, is you want to see expertise by the speaker. And I think the specific kind of expertise you want to see, not just theoretical expertise. You want to see hands-on expertise. So if the speaker can tell you project they did, she did, give you examples of how they use it, that they're speaking from experience, but whatever they bring to you, then you probably, what you learn from them, you'll be able to apply it. And that's another point. We'll discuss this later. So when you look for you choose the speaker, you choose the facility, the institute to learn from, you want to know that they are actually practicing what they teach. That makes sense?
Yeah, definitely practicing what they preach. That is a good earmark. And again, how can you do that? Well, if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, they should have something of goodwill for you to go test out
Yes.
to see is what they're sharing, what they're teaching, does it actually work in real life application?
Yeah, join
That
the
is so
power hours.
yeah.
Join the free power hours, for
Yeah.
example.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, come
All right.
check it
Good.
out.
Good. 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 Good.
Absolutely. So this
I
one
love how AI is helping us to yeah. All right.
Now, this next one I definitely agree with is a red flag, right? Overhyped marketing and unrealistic promises. This really is bringing me back to my network marketing days.
Is that yours or the AI's?
This is AI. This is
Hey,
AI thing.
that's exactly my notes. My note is
Yeah.
no buzz, no
And
fake promise.
I
Wow,
totally right, and I totally agree with this
they're
one. So
good.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up on this one, right? So claims of mastering AI in 1 week, right? Or making X amount of dollars in 1 week after you learn X, Y, and Z. Is it that you couldn't learn it in 1 week? Maybe, maybe not, right?
I think you
Everyone's
can. By the way,
different.
you can learn a lot in 1 week. But can
You
you make
absolutely
all of
can.
that money? Can you create all of those contracts with your new clients that never heard about you, that you don't have
Probably
any
not.
credibility, no presence yet, and you're just gonna sign contracts for all that, and that will not happen.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So I think, there's a balance and stuff like that. If you start hearing a bunch of grandiose claims, generally speaking, it's just a marketing tactic and not necessarily factual. I don't want to say that it's never factual because there are instances where things sound really wild and crazy and are true. So, so, but I would just say again, this goes back to the proof in the pudding. I feel like this episode should be called "Proof in the Pudding."
right.
So,
We got this.
because you can go and take a look. You can go take a look at what that person's doing. You could test it out on your own and see if their free content is working for you. Chances are their paid content is going to be good too. If they're over delivering in their free content, chances are they're going to over deliver
I
in their
love that.
paid
I
content,
love that.
right? So
Genuine. I
that's a
love that.
good thing to think about.
I'm
And
gonna
maybe
add to that as
over
well.
delivering. Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna add to that as well. So you're going to you search for AI training, but you learn from us already, and so you search for I want a AI video course creation course training, and you search that and you find few, and you click on a landing page, and the landing page is doing that. He's over promising. He says how you can sell those videos for $5,000 and you'll make money from day two. And they will teach you how to get your first clients for 5,000. They sell you the course for $1,000 or $2,000, and they promise you how you get clients for $5,000 from day one, right? But that's not even the problem, because okay, that's they use a lot of buzzwords and use might be fake promises, might be, right? But that's not the problem. While doing that, they actually didn't tell you about the course. So you'll see a lot of content, and they will tell you how you'll just do that in a week. You'll be able to do that. You'll make money, but you don't actually know what's the chapter are. Yeah, I saw so many pages that you'll see many smiles and promises and stars and V marks and AI creation that they created, very beautiful AI creation, but you won't see even the bullets of what you're gonna learn in the course.
Right. Right.
And sometimes you'll see the bullets and they'll be so generic, and it's not the highlight of the content. So that makes no sense. You have to understand that at the end of this pain, that they're not your new hirer. They're not your clients. You're their client, and so they're doing sale pitch on you. So you want to choose the something that is not giving you sales pitch, that you read in the code and says, this is the skill I want. That's not they're not selling that to me. I'm choosing that not because of what it can do, because I know if I get those 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 bulletins of knowledge, then I'll be able to sell that because I already have the client, or I know the client, or I will learn how to get the client. That makes sense to you?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it kind of reminds me, I don't know if anyone has, been on YouTube in, I don't know, the past year, especially. I've noticed a lot of these type of videos where there's these content creators promising you can make money with da 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 da. Fill in the blank. I don't care what the da 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 is. It can be whatever you want it to be. Okay. X,
One of
Y,
the most
Z.
popular words of
All kinds of different
2023.
things. And they'll be like, you can
Right.
make X amount of dollars and just do this and this. And they tell you about the process, but they never actually have done the process themselves. Buyer beware. Okay. So, and there's a lot of them. There's so many channels like this now where there's the, expert content creator that's sharing all these money making tips and tactics, but they've not tested out one of them. They're just like little robots repeating what another content creator did that they saw. Oh, that person got lots of views on that. I'm going to talk about that too, but none of them have actually done it in application. The ones that have will show you the full process and will show you their results. those are the winners. Okay. So this also applies to the free training you find on YouTube as well as paid training. Okay. Let's test and prove all things, fam. All right. So the other
I want to tell
one,
you something about that.
yeah, go ahead.
For a while, and I was even approached by a friend who said, let's create content about that. That for a while, search for how to make $100 in a day, how to make $100 online, how to make money online, all these kind of phrases. They were the best way to create money online was to say to tell people how to create money online. So you could write a book about how to become a millionaire and become a millionaire just by writing the book of how to become a millionaire. So at the end, the tip will write a book of how to become a millionaire, and then, but that's a pyramid that can only hold for so much volume. Right?
Yeah, eventually that's gonna bust. These content creators, they're winning right now, but eventually they'll be weeded out. Absolutely. Absolutely. So next one is poor customer support and engagement. Poor customer support definitely is a red flag. Poor engagement, that part I'm gonna make that a yellow flag in this particular instance. Why? If they're just getting started out, there might not be a lot of engagement initially, right? A new YouTube channel, a new TikTok, a new Instagram, a new business. There's not going to be a lot of engagement initially. And I'm also going to say that it's very niche specific too. I notice, for instance, we get a lot more engagement on our YouTube channel for our Kung Fu site, but not necessarily as much engagement on our blog, even though we get lots of traffic. Why is that? Well, I've noticed personally in the Kung Fu niche, a lot of people don't like letting other people know where they're training. They're very secretive.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's a different kind of group. They're not, they're the right ninjas, literally like disappear. So like I like to give an example. We have a friend that we helped create a YouTube channel based on Dungeons and Dragons. And we had, kind of like we're comparing our stats side by side, and they were pretty similar as far as like, watch count, this and the other. But his people were way more engaging than our people were. But it was because in that particular community, there's no competition, right? Everyone is for everyone because they're all just playing D&D. They like D&D. They like sharing tips and whatever. Where in Kung Fu and martial arts, people are more guarded, right? More secretive. They don't want everyone to know their secrets or how they do X, Y, and Z. We're not like that. We're like totally like the oddballs in the group. But we're finding that most people are. So a lot of them they're not as engaging. So I will say it's also really dependent on your niche too, how engaging people are willing to be or not. So I never like to use that as the end all be all because one, people could be just getting started out. Two, it could be a niche thing. So again, how do you test it out? Proof is in the pudding, right? Go and take their free advice, their free content, and go test it out, right? Go see if what they're saying actually works or not. And that's a really great way to know if you're going to be able to learn from them in something that's paid or not. So the next
I want to add something to that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really like that point. I really like that point because I've been, all of us, any of us probably been on all ends of this point, right? We tried to get some customer support for something that never answered to us and we lost some money. And we probably even provided something and we probably got overwhelmed with how many people tried to get support. And sometimes we were slow to support as well. So we probably tried everything and we understand that. And so I think if I add something little to it, when you look for the customer support, right? You want to look at it when you see a public answers, for example, right? You want to see that the company cares about your goal and not their goal. So their goal is making money out of you. So sometimes you'll see support. No, we just can't do that. They probably can. It will take them 5 minutes. We just can't because that's not part of the protocol. But if you'll see a company that's go, okay, I'll try to see if we can do that. I'll try to solve that for you because I care that you'll succeed with using our tools, our course, our training, right? When you see a company that care for you, even if it takes them sometimes a long time because they're overwhelmed, because they're successful.
Or they're a small company too.
Or they're a small company or a new company.
Like with one or two people. Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
So just understand if it's a huge company that a policy to just not care and give a slow reaction, then that's still you'll get that's still bad, right?
Right.
But if you see a small company, maybe it will take them time to answer, but you'll see when they answer, they try to solve that for you, try to help you succeed at what you're trying to do. Even when it's complicated and it's different, then that's a gem. It's not a
Absolutely.
common gem, but that's a
Yeah.
gem.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. And I totally agree. Like I try to give people grace, especially with response times, because I know as a small business owner, there are times when we just have a bazillion things going on. We are overwhelmed. There's been times where we just didn't even get a person's email to begin with, didn't land our. So that's another thing, technology is not perfect. So I
Right.
always try to, if there's another way to contact them, or if I haven't heard
So
from
true.
them, I try to refollow back up, because sometimes things don't actually make it to the end user. That does happen.
So
So
true.
that's
So
that's
true.
really important that what you brought up, give people grace, but also, pay attention to, like you said, how are they responding to you once you actually hear from them? That's a great point. Great point. All right.
Fantastic.
So outdated or inaccurate content. Well, obviously in the AI space, that's super important,
Outdated.
right? It's moving so fast. You definitely want to know that you're getting updated content. And I actually love what we're doing here, right? With these MVP AI power hours,
Right.
because that's the whole reason we're going to meet with you guys every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, make sure you stay updated and all that good stuff, wherever you're watching this at. Make sure you just connect with us on that platform. You'll also start finding us on more platforms. We're starting to reach out and spread out what we're going to be doing. So we'll be on TikTok soon, now that we know that it's not banned. Okay. We're also going to be on Instagram, and you'll find us even on Facebook. Even though it's not our favorite platform in the world, we know that it's still useful. So we will be there too. And
It's a
so
good
wherever you
platform.
find us
Yeah.
at, make sure you subscribe, and you can find us on your other favorite platforms as well. And just stay abreast of this, because that's why we're doing these power hours. We want to share what is the latest news, what is actually going on, and be able to share with you guys and gals actual practical information that you can utilize in your business to kick butt with AI in 2025 and beyond, without losing your humanity, because that's really what's important, right?
Yes.
We like to say that we're the AI resistance. We're the resistance to the revolution, meaning that we don't want robots to fully take over, okay? We just
Let's
want,
fight AI with AI.
yeah,
Right.
right. Fight AI with AI. Keep your humanity, keep your uniqueness, but
Keep
help
your
us to
job.
help you. Yeah, keep your job, hopefully, as well, in your business. But we want to be able to help you guys and gals to be able to take this information and help the little guy and the little gal win against these
Yes.
bigger corporations, and be able to
Yes.
help you to be more efficient and effective. So hopefully you have more time for your friends, your family, your loved ones, your hobbies that you haven't gotten to in forever, and all the other things that are super important in life. So, all right.
And that's have to be live. That's have to be live. By the way, I remember we did a research for a course we wanted to provide for you. And we did the research, and of course we ended up on one of the options, ended up on Coursera, and they had really popular
Yeah.
one. I think he had like 200,000 students went through it. And when we checked it, it was one of the on the syllabus, one of the bulletins was ChatGPT 2. It was ChatGPT 2. So
Oh,
I training AI training, if it's not basic the science of AI, which is also evolving right now, just DeepSeek
yeah.
just changed the science of AI as well. So if it's not just the basics, then it have to be as closer to or alive as possible, because you
Absolutely.
got to have the latest to be on top of it. You can't create videos if you just always keep the same track. We're not discussing just videos, but if you have to create videos, you can do it the same way you did it 6 months ago,
No,
3 months ago. It's
no.
probably different than 3 months ago, but you can surely you can't create it like the same way you created that 1 year ago.
No, I
And
think
2 years
you know,
ago, it
I
was
think there's some things that will never change, like how to create a good prompt. You know what I mean? Different things like that are pretty much going to be the same across the board. But a lot of content, like you said, because of how fast AI is moving, it really needs to be a live, breathing curriculum that keeps being added onto on a weekly basis, so that way you don't go to the course curriculum and see that they're on ChatGPT too.
two.
And
Yeah.
we've moved on from
Can you
there
imagine?
quite a
Yeah.
bit. So, like, I mean, they could have at least had 3.5 guys. Okay. So
Right.
that's a great point. Great point. So yeah, so that's really important. So let's talk about some key features of high quality AI training. Obviously, expert led, but like I said, expert led doesn't necessarily mean that you've got a bunch of trophies and certificates. It just means that you're really good at your craft, and
Right.
you have the ability to prove that with your proof and the stuff that you're sharing, your goodwill content that you're
Yeah.
sharing with the peoples. So another one, hands-on practical learning. Totally my favorite personal thing to do is have hands-on practical training. Some of our master classes that we're going to be putting out with MVP Alliance are going to be very hands-on, where it's literally going to be a master class with part of it being you learning interactively together, so that way you can test the stuff out as you're going through the process. And if you find that you're not understanding something or you have a problem, because it's live and interactive, you're going to be able to ask for help and get correction and all that good stuff live and interactive.
That's
So
right. That's
totally
right.
agree. That is definitely needed,
Great job,
especially
ChatGPT.
in AI, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Also, a comprehensive and updated curriculum. We've kind of talked about that the whole time, right?
Right. For sure.
So,
For sure. For
totally
sure.
agree with that. Definitely good. And then strong community and support. I think that's awesome. So, give some examples of that. So, what does that mean? Like access to AI forums. FYI, guys, we are going to be having some forums and a live community aspect to the MVP Alliance website. That's going to be available for you guys starting, I think, this next week. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think?
You tell me. I think
Well, I'm
so. I
gonna
think
be
so. I hope
ready.
so.
Are you gonna be ready? So
I'm excited. I'm not just ready.
okay,
I'm like,
so we so we'll have some good news for you guys and gals next week about how you guys can access the new community as well. Then it also gave some example, like a Discord group, LinkedIn networks. We also are going to be on Telegram as well. So peer networking opportunities. That's going to be a big part of the MVP Alliance
yes,
community. Is you guys being
yes.
able to communicate, help each other out, and make
Grow
some
together.
powerful. Yes, powerful connections to work together and to be the AI resistance for good, okay, and kick
The
butt.
alliance.
So, yes,
Right.
the alliance, yes. So, strong community support is super important, super
Yes.
important. So, different ways to be able to access and get help. Have you ever
Yes.
guys like signed up to a training and the only way that you could reach out to a person was via email? Uh, Google.
Even sometimes that was difficult.
Google.
I've seen so many websites that they had like you have no contact page, no option, and when
Right.
you
No
try
way
to
to
get
find out.
contact, you'll get into some automation or like a knowledge base where like it can take you long time. Some companies you'll have to go to Google, try to see how to contact that company because
And
it
then
won't
sometimes
even
you can't
allow
even
you.
find that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many of them. I can understand why they want to do that, and on some products that makes sense. If it's a free product, if it's a I don't know, a very widely used but very low cost, maybe you wanna. But I think if it's a premium product, especially on training, if you want somebody behind it, you want to know that somebody downloaded a skill to you, right? So that source of the skill, you can utilize that skill, and that source is somebody. It's not a ghost in a. It's not an AI only, right? If you, I hope they don't hear that because thank you for everything you do for us, ChatGPT.
Be
Thank
nice,
you.
be nice, be kind.
Um, I want to add something. I want to add something. Maybe we touched it, maybe but I think that's really important.
Mhm.
So So yes, there are so many courses, even from the big companies that train you, and
Yes,
some of those training
absolutely.
guys fantastic. It depends what you want to do. If you want to be an AI developer, then yes, go for the sciences, understand the behinds. And if you want to do the training, the data, oh yes, you have to learn a lot to do that. That's not Gen AI. That's the engine. That's training
Yeah.
up to the engine of Gen AI. That's way different from what you do, and that will take you a long time to learn, and you have to put a lot of effort in that. I'm pro that if that's what you like, but that's not the marketer's job. Marketers enjoy. Maybe we can do some training, maybe some LoRa's. We can do some trainings to create the images the way we like, or the same way even Jamie's here doing when she's having a project on ChatGPT. So the ChatGPT is like familiar with our subject. So we can do.
Exactly.
So we can utilize some of those features of AI, but if you wanna get training that you can do something about it, you have to look for training that it's practical, that practicality is part of it, so you can apply it. You have to look for training that you can apply. If it's a skill you cannot apply, right? What's the use of that in the time of AI? Because in 6 months, that's already old skill that is not even valuable anymore, right? You have to be always updating, and you have to have skills that are pliable. That, like you said, after tomorrow, after I'm done with the course, in 3 days, 5 days after I'm done with the course, and I get some experience, I can already offer that as a product. So yes, I won't get the $5,000 client first day, probably not 10 of them for sure, but I can already start offering that. And so I will offer freebies to the companies I know, so they can give me good recommendations. And now I have a portfolio with some videos I created, for example, and I have some recommendations from that companies because they got that for free and they want to recommend me because I gave that for free. And now I have recommendations. I have some proofs of um, proofs of
Proof of the
pudding.
pudding.
I had some proofs of puddings. So now everybody knows I'm a pudding maker, and
They know your
and
pudding's good. You're making good pudding over
yes,
there.
exactly. So I'm making good pudding, and now I can make the cheddar.
There you go. Now you're making the cheddar, right? We're gonna use all the food
Uh,
references here.
yes.
No, and I think
So
that's good. And then having a strong community. So that way, and also I would say even for content creators, having a strong community also benefits you as the content creator, as the business owner, because eventually what happens with the community is they start helping each other out. That's one of the things that I love about my business, Enrolling, is our community helps each other out. So if we're busy, a lot of times our people will say, oh, you can go find that training here. Oh, this is the acronym you need to know, or this is what this means, and stuff like that. So I love when I see our members helping each other out, because
of
it
course.
means that we're building a strong community of people that are like-minded, helpful,
Mm,
and wanting to
exactly.
see each other win. So I think that's
Exactly.
beautiful. So it's not just important for you, the consumer, but it's also important for the business owner and the creators out there that are creating these products and services to have a flourishing community behind that, because it also helps between the networking, the connections, and it also helps a little bit with your customer support even, because again, if you're doing your job right, you're going to be bringing in the right people. They're going to be awesome, they're going to be like-minded, and they're going to want to help each other out. And then that takes a little bit of the pressure off of you, because now things that you normally would have to handle all by yourself, your community is working together to help each other out. And that is
Yes.
pretty amazing.
Yes, that's a very good point.
So
Very good.
that's it. Besides that, it did cover some other things, like obviously researching and comparing the AI training programs. You guys and gals know how to do that, right? Like, I don't think anyone on here is watching and doesn't go and compare and contrast and stuff like that. Obviously, if it's a new program or training, you might not be able to find any comparisons and things like that. So, that might be the only time that that doesn't work out. It did say, check out free trials or sample lessons. We talked a little bit about that, right? Having freebies that you can share and give that
Try
goodwill
before you
content
buy.
out. Or, even if it makes sense for your business model, having a free trial for a week or two so people can, dive in and get to experience a little bit about what you do and stuff like that. So that's also a good thing. And that's a great tip too. If you're brand new and you don't have a lot of people, if you don't feel comfortable, or maybe it doesn't make sense in your business model to offer, 10 free spots for, a beta program or whatever, then try the trial offer option. So you can still let people test stuff out and give you some feedback before they commit to physically paying for the product and service. So I think that's really cool. Let's see, final checklist before enrolling in AI training.
All right.
This is
The
ChatGPT
AI.
here.
Right.
Is the instructor reputable with real AI experience? Again,
We discussed
reputable,
that.
that depends on the individual, right? Reputable just means, and I
Just
like this,
marketing.
the real AI experience. Well, how can I find out about the
Marketing.
real AI experience? Let me look at the content they're sharing. Let
Yeah.
me go check that out. Let me go test and prove all things with that. Does the
Good.
course include practical exercises, not just theory? That's super important, right? We can talk about AI all day long, right? But is there practical exercises that I can
Good.
go and implement and be able to get some
Good.
results?
Very good.
Super important.
Very
Is
good.
there active customer support in a learning community? Again, I highly implore, if you are a business owner currently and you don't already have some kind of community, this is that part we talked about before, where AI and just the world is going. Even though, we have this awesome technology, a lot of people are craving connection. They're missing that human part. And as the years
Not
go
just humans. Not just humans.
on, yeah, there you go. Um, and as we move forward, that's going to be even more apparent. So even though we're online and we're all in different parts of the world, having a place where we can connect and grow together is super important. So if you don't already have a community aspect to what you do, I highly implore looking at that option, because that's what people are moving to. They don't want to just sign up for a course. They don't just want to sign up for a service. They want to know that there's a community of like-minded individuals that they
Very
can
good.
get to know and they can network and connect with. And maybe, again, if they need some help and maybe support is busy, that there's going to be someone else there that can help guide them and answer, that has, already been through the course
Right.
and has some good knowledge and tips to be able to share. So
Even more
people definitely want that.
for the business owner point of view, community is an asset.
It is.
If you're just focusing on the sales, you'll get the sales, and some of them would be ending there. So you know your lifetime value of the customer, and then you get that. If you build a community, the lifetime value of the customer is different now because they're still with you, right? So you can keep selling them. You can pivot, you can change, you can modify, you can evolve, and you have those clients with you now, escorting you. So community is a very important asset in this model.
Absolutely. It
We'll
definitely is
discuss it
a
in
key
different
part.
events. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll talk definitely
totally in
more
events.
about that for
Yeah,
sure. All right. And then our refund policy is clear. That is really important too. Know what you're buying and what you're getting yourself into, do your due diligence. I think that, most of you, if not all of you, are already doing that, but that is a really good point. Just pay attention to what you're buying. If it's something that's a monthly payment, is it auto drafted? Know what you're getting yourself into. So that way that you don't have any surprises later on, right?
I got a anecdote.
Yeah, go ahead.
I bought today a $360 product that was marked. They were upfront, no refundable. And I was looking around, tested, looked at reviews. By the way, they didn't have on the platform I bought it didn't have great reviews. So it was like 3.8. And I was checking why, and the reason were all the same. So I compared to different places reviews, and
Okay.
I figured out that's fair with me because the problem everybody have is not what I'm looking for in that product. And so
Right.
I bought a non-refundable product with 3.7 reviews that was still really great fit for me. So
Right. That's so important to do that, the
yeah,
due diligence.
yeah,
I love that
yeah,
you brought that up,
always.
because I've noticed that too. Even like looking for like health and wellness products and things like that. A lot of
Exactly.
times the reviews, what people are complaining about, aren't relevant to what I'm looking for. So I
Right.
love that you brought that up. Just because something has 3 stars, versus 5 stars or whatever doesn't mean that it's a bad product. And that's another reason to go look at the reviews. And again, know what is your objective to what you're wanting to learn, what you're looking to get out of whatever it is, whether it's a course, service, a product. And then going, all right, let me look at these objectively. Like, why are these people complaining? What they didn't like about it? And is it relevant to me and what I'm looking to do with this? That's a great point. Thank you for sharing that. That is beautiful. And then obviously, is the curriculum up to date, guys? If they're talking about ChatGPT too, you might want to
go live as possible. Go live as possible when you're looking for training. So I want to add something about what we do in the MVP Live.
Yes.
So
please do.
So saying all that, that's mostly what you got is actually ChatGPT recommending us, right? And but we added some personal, the human touch to it. But it will seem that our products, we knew all of that way before, and we were taking that into account when creating the MVP Alliance. So we knew we wanted to add everybody together, to give them tons of value and help them to get education, and networking and business growth. We knew that those are our pillars for that project. And knowing that, and knowing our industry is AI, we're doing most of our content, if not all of it, is live. So that's very important. So check out the MVPalliance.ai website and check out how you can get so much freebies, so much MVP Alliance Power Hours for free, weekly for free. So if you're looking for oh, by the way, we missed something huge. We missed something huge in the tips. Can we still do it? Can I still give another tip?
We're still rolling. Let's go.
When you're looking for where to get the training, right? Many autodidacts will say, I can get that just on YouTube. Right? I can just get that on YouTube. And for many people, it would be mostly right. But if you're a professional and you want to actually download skill to yourself and that you can utilize, right? If you just watch it on YouTube and it doesn't work for you later when we try. So I watched how to create I spent 10 hours on a channel learning how to create a video. And then it's just not the same. When I use the Kling or when I use Runway, it's just not creating the same videos like the guy showing on the video, and it's just not working the same. And some of the how to register and everything he explains, it doesn't work the same way in real time, in real life. And the reason is they're doing that for the views. That's YouTube. The goal of the platform is different than just giving value, and they don't owe you anything because that's free. So you can outreach to them, but millions of views, so many people outreach to them, and they don't owe you anything. They don't owe you that training. They just do that for the views, for their goal. Now you watch it and you got some out of it, but then you don't have the skill yet. So you can't offer that to your clients because that's not effective, and you don't have anybody to blame. And you spend 10 hours that you can't utilize now, and you don't have who's to approach to. Who do you ask to solve that for you? Your friends? Your friends at MVP Alliance. So you have to look for training that can stand behind their training. That makes sense to you?
Yeah.
That was very important for me when I started whenever I get more training. So
absolutely. And I also want to add one more thing,
a bonus,
which is in regards to good AI training.
All right.
Are you a good student? Right. So are you willing to show up? And are you willing to do the homework? And are you willing to do all the legwork to make it happen? How many people have bought courses and products and services and just let them sit forever and then wonder why they're not getting results, right? So part of the good training is you being a good student as well. So always remember that. Be efficient, be effective, be authentic, and also be realistic with yourself. If you're going to sign up for a course, make sure you take the time to plan out in your schedule for however many weeks that course is going to be, that you make the time to show up for the live sessions, or at least know that, okay, I can't because maybe I can't get off of work or whatever the case may be. But plan to go, this is when I'm watching the replays. This is when I'm
Wow,
going to
that's
submit
fantastic.
my homework. This is when I'm going to connect with the community and share my results and different things like that. So make sure that you also hold yourself accountable so that way you don't waste your time and your money as well. I think that's also super important because
That's
I've
very
seen
good.
so many people, even in the martial arts niche, sign up to our lifetime membership and never once logged in or don't log in for like 4 years. Like,
Right.
you know
Right,
how much
exactly.
better you could have been in the past 4 years if you applied yourself? So don't do that to yourself. Don't waste your time and your money.
Such a good
It's
tip.
just as important as finding the good content to learn from as it is for you to show up to be a good student.
I wanna add another anecdote for that. I
Absolutely.
advised a school that have thousands of students,
Yeah.
and that's industry, they have a regulation. So you need to have some ongoing training hours
Mhm.
to keep your diploma, right? So some of the students and the regulation says how you they have like exact how to do's to get that training hours. You have to participate in the training and you have to do an exam at the end to so that those hours will be registered. And so at the end of the year, you get from out of 1,000, you get like 20 or 30 people that write in, hey, I was registered with you and I have no diploma. Where's my diploma? And then we ask them, did you participate? Did you do the exams? And they didn't. And so, on the other hand, many that participated had some troubles, and they participated and they, let's say, did the exam, but they put the wrong ID, and now they don't have a diploma because the diploma is based on their ID. And they contact in and we say, hey, did you participate? They say, yes, we participated. And we look back and we see that their ID is wrong. So, like I said before, we do the extra and we look at the
Mhm.
idea and we fix it and we resubmit it to the government so they will get the ongoing hours, even if it's 1 year after, right? So,
Wow.
what you want to look for is check what's the requirement to get your, if you do that for the diploma, if you do that for the certificate, check what's required to for the certificate, because some places will require you so much. And like you said, if you know yourself and you're not gonna put the bad hours to get a training, then maybe you're wasting your time. So make sure
Right.
you can reach the goal to get a certificate for you, if that's important for you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Well, I
All
think
right.
this was
Great
a
tip. Great
great
tip.
session. Lots of great tips, lots of practical application here. Love to
Absolutely.
hear from you all. So feel free to, comment if you're watching this replay, wherever you're watching this replay at, or if you're watching some snippets, let us know what your thoughts are on the content that we shared with y'all, as well as the news that we shared too. We'd love to see you guys next week. Remember, MVP AI Power Hour every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to see you guys next week. Peace. MVP out.